Hey, peace, boxing fans. Peace, world in general. Didn't get a morning wood in this morning because of I came into the gig a little early and it was still dark, so I didn't have light. So doing a morning, afternoon wood, and keep this kind of short, man. I'm a little disappointed. I'm a little disappointed to see Errol Spence Jr. really turn into adopt this role of being the hand of the PBC and transitioning to be more of a spokesperson and a political figure than the fighter that he started out as. And the premise here is that hurt people hurt people. All of these guys, Porter, Thurman, Garcia, all these guys spurned offers and Spence's pleas for them to fight him, a year and a half ago, basically. And as he was trying to go somewhere in the game and maximize his potential. And, the brother had to go overseas betting on himself in a tangible way. He had to go overseas and get his belt. And now he comes back and the guys still wouldn't fight him. And, we've been watching this whole thing play out. And now only after he proves himself as a draw, has a big payday, now does it make sense for guys like Porter? We still don't know about Thurman, whether he'd accept it. But now we hear Danny Garcia a couple of weeks ago throw Spence's name in on the tail end of who he wanted to fight. But I just ask one question, because I'm really not so much. It's not an anti-PBC or anti-Al rant or opinion, but if Mikey Garcia doesn't force the issue and get that fight done, who the hell was Spence fighting for the first half of 2019? Like, what big named opponent did they have lined up for him? So to sit here now and kind of discredit the credibility or the downplay the significance of Terrence Crawford, how do you do that? With so much energy when you had a lot of help in this Garcia fight being. You had a lot of help with this Garcia fight being successful as it was. But you had a lightweight. This was a lightweight. You can throw out there that he fought Lipinets at 140, but his last fight before was the unification fight with Robert Easter Jr. But you had a lightweight come in and I wouldn't even bought that pay-per-view. It was forced on me because I was procrastinating and found out last minute that I couldn't go to the closest movie theater was an hour and 15 minutes away. That's the only reason I broke down and bought that fight. The only reason. And I wanted to come on and go live or whatever and do something afterwards, and do my thing. That's the only reason I broke down and came off of that $75 for that. That's the only reason. Because I already knew, how could I call the fight that it was going to be like 9-3 or 10-2 and it play out that way? How could I be happy in giving that money away? But you got me. But now to sit here and bang on your chest and bang on the table and sit here now and you know all things now about the inner workings of the all the business aspects of a big event. But I'm real talk though. I'm gonna get mines in the end because you really can't get my money for Porter. You really can't get my money to face Porter, which I'm hearing is going back and forth on whether or not that's pay-per-view or not. But I know it's not pay-per-view for me. I check it out at the theater. But to sit here now and downplay this, Again, like I said, man, I was at Barclays when they walked Spence in. And he was all down and, all downtrodden, bent over and all soft-spoken. Then, man, I don't know why none of these guys, I don't know why I can't get their names on the line. This was before he went over and faced Brook, maybe. They brought him in for a special media engagement. Then, fast forward, I'm there again after the fight with Peterson last year. Which, again, Peterson was railroaded into that fight. Railroaded into that fight. Like, he still didn't have none of these guys that were allowing him to provide for his family at a level commensurate with his promise and his talent, and wouldn't allow that man to move forward with what he's trying to do individually. And Peterson says, oh, why give up my WBA regular belt or whatever it was? I'll give that up so I can make this fight. I'll come over here and get steamrolled for this. We saw the after effects of that in the Sergey Lipinets bout, when we felt sorry for Pete getting beat down by a guy that, in my estimation, really shouldn't have done him like that. And then he has to do this impromptu retirement speech in front of his hometown, where this was really like a homecoming and a celebration of his career, and then it ends up being an embarrassment. So what games are we really playing? Where is everybody in line and in the pecking order of all of this stuff? But again, to sit here and ignore the fact that an audacious Mikey Garcia made this all possible for you to elevate yourself to the next level, and now to think that you're going to have a similar success going this route with it over the next year and a half. It's just disgusting to me. Like I said, I liked him better when he was just a fighter, but now it was Floyd who had been a part of several mega successful pay-per-views before he started really giving us the game on the whole A-side, B-side stuff. And when he started that, he wasn't even the A-side. So I just don't think the young man has paid his dues to really get out here and the people that are running with what he says as gospel, you're just ignoring a lot of big facts here. Like I said, it's hard to devalue what Mikey Garcia, what his side brought to that fight. And we already know whether or not we want to accept it or not. And you can look at the divide between Team Spence and Team Crawford. It's a lot of trepidation behind having a pay-per-view event with two black fighters facing each other. It really is. And Spence Porter, I don't really move the needle for me. And I can't get over the fact with Porter replaying in my ear to Jim Gray, Jim, you don't know how easy it is to make that fight. You don't know how, with regard to facing Spence, who he comes back and faces you guys. So, again, I don't know what we're doing here, but I got a lot. We, as sports fans, we got a lot of options. Even in boxing, I mean, it's a lot of options out here to do what you want to do and follow along the way that you want. But let's just not get ahead of ourselves. Hey, thanks for all the recent new subscribers. Thanks for all the interaction and comments. And, please, if you like anything that's going down on the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment, like, share, all of that. Appreciate it. Again, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Peace.